Sandy VCAL PD presents Movie Talk Podcast.
Hello, welcome to the 2Sweet movie show. It's Thursday, the 11th of October. Now today, we're going to talk about some massive movies. So let's start off with Venom. So Venom, as you know, is a new Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. And it's not exactly in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but it's produced by Marvel and distributed by Sony Films.
I'm Eddie Brock. I'm a reporter. I always seem to find myself questioning something the government may not be looking at. I found something really bad. And I have been...
Eddie.
Who said that? Taken.
Look around at the world. What do you see? A planet on the brink of collapse. Human beings are disposable. But man and symbiote combined. This is a new race, a new species. A higher life form.
What do you want from me?
You'll find out.
I am so sorry. We cannot just hurt people.
Look into my eyes, Eddie. The way I see it. We can do whatever we want. Do we have a deal? Eyes, lungs, pancreas. So many snacks, so little time.
That power, it's not completely awful.
You have no idea how much you're scaring me right now.
Eddie, cooperate. And you just might survive.
Guys, you do not want to do this, trust me.
Giant leaps will always come at a cost.
Now the movie, it's journalist, and it's played, the journalist is about a journalist, and he's basically trying to take down the Life Foundation. Now the Life Foundation are the people who actually make Venom. But then what happens is they have to... he's investigating. And then after that, he inherits Venom. Because Eddie Brock is Venom. And he also has a girlfriend. You know, this film's dark, you know, it was an interesting film. Well, the actors, you've got Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy, as we know, has been in some films recently, like The Dark Knight Rises or Inception. And he doesn't really do anything different here. He's playing himself, but he's, you know, playing a funny guy this time. He's a bit of a comedian, this guy. But this film's not a comedy, it's a... sometimes you can think it's a comedy. And then you got Michelle Williams, who plays Anne, who is Tom Hardy's girlfriend. So they sort of have a relationship going on. And then you got Riz Ahmed, who is Carlton Drake, the owner of the Life Foundation. So basically, he is the one who makes these symbiotes in a factory, in like a medical unit type thing. And then you have Jenny Slate, who plays a doctor. She works with Riz Ahmed. And then you also have Woody Harrelson, who's also playing a character, but I'm not going to name it because it's a spoiler into the end credits. But yeah, stay to the end because otherwise you'll miss an important scene. I mean, this film, the audience have been loving it, I think, but it's sort of mixed. I mean, I know many people I saw it with, he really enjoyed it. He thought it probably could have been better because actually it was censored by Marvel, meaning they had to cut down it for censorship reasons, which sort of sucked. But you know, if it was longer, that's its main problem. Yeah, I agree with that. And well, the reviews, I mean, if I speak about the reviews for this, well, the reviews have been mixed as well. I mean, some people say they really, really enjoy it, like 75%. Like IndieWire has been saying, you know, it leaves the viewer with two choices: reject the parasite or let it take you over. Fight it off and you'll have a bad time. Become one with it and you may achieve a kind of symbiote. And Entertainment Weekly gives it a 58. Venom isn't quite bad, but it's not exactly good either. It's non-committally mediocre and as a result, forgettable. It is just sort of sits there, beating you numb, unsure of whether it wants to be a comic movie or put the whole idea of comic book movies in crosshairs. So yeah, I guess it's kind of mixed between people. I enjoyed it, but it could have been better, I'm telling you. So now on to my thoughts. Well, in my opinion, Venom, you know, it was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And Tom Hardy, you know, I think he was the perfect role for the character. He just, you know, he has that type of charm to him. He's a funny guy. He's just an everyday guy. And you know, the Venom, when you get to Venom, he's an interesting character also. He interacts with Eddie Brock in a sort of way, and it just makes you laugh because, you know, he just treats him like shit, basically. It's just hilarious to watch. And the plot, as I said before, it's basic and it could have been better, to be honest. Especially the start when we don't get to see Venom till later on, which was disappointing, but you know, when we finally get to see Venom, it just lifts off. It has, you know, action-packed scenes and they're definitely worth watching. And they've been shot well as well. They've been quite good. And I don't know, I did like some of the special effects. They, you know, it's worth it for that. And you know, it's a different type of universe. It's, you know, it's a darker universe. It's, guess you could say more grown up because the man's not young. He's an older type of man. I think he's in his 30s. And, you know, his personal life, you can tell he gets bored at home and he wants, well, once he loses his girlfriend, he doesn't know what to live for, you know, and his job too. and then he has to go live in a roommate live next to a roommate, and he's annoying. He always plays loud music, and it annoys him a lot. But it feels real. Doesn't feel like a fake life. This is what people go through in the real world. They're very relatable. I don't think I've seen a character like that in the comic book universe. He's a screw up. He wants that symbiote because once he gets it, he just realizes that, his life's not over. He can live, This is what he was born to do, be a superhero, be a sort of superhero villain type thing. And, this was different, and the screenplay, I don't know, the way it worked on screen, it sort of was a bit messy, but it's still an enjoyable film. It's an enjoyable film, but it has flaws. I can tell you that. So my conclusion on Venom, I'd say that if you're fans of like a darker type movies, like maybe sort of Deadpool and other things like that, like when I walked into the theater and I asked my mate, I said, "Is this M or MA?" And he's like, "No, this is M." And I'm like, what? When I saw the preview for Venom, I think, the last couple of times, I really thought this film was going to be MA. I never knew it would turn out M. So, that really did shock me a lot. So, my conclusion on Venom, I guess, give it a 7.5 out of 10. Because Tom Hardy, I think he's the right choice for the role, and Michelle Williams did great things. Riz Ahmed, he was okay, he wasn't the best. Jenny Slate, I wish we could see more of her. She seemed like an interesting character to look on, to see. And Woody Harrelson, well, he just made the movie. But you got to see it for yourself, man. So there's my thoughts on Venom. It's a superhero, super villain type film. I know fans of Spider-Man will absolutely love this. Just fans of superhero films and Marvel films would just enjoy it. And, it's got Eminem's soundtrack at the end, which is a pretty cool song to listen to. I did really have fun with Venom. The next film I want to talk about is Night School. And now I actually saw this on last week. The week before, probably. Because I saw Venom last week and Night School the week before.
This is the grill for you. I call it the Obama. Como te llamas? Me llamo the pit bull. I call this the big black machine. Lisa, you're the best thing that ever happened to me.
Oh my God. Do you smell gas?
A little bit came out, but I was nervous. That's just a quick one.
No, that's,
I got 13-degree burns on my ass.
You're the best salesman I've ever seen. I can see you being a stockbroker like me.
Can't you give me a job?
I wish I could. My bosses won't let me hire a dropout.
Look at Mark Zuckerberg.
He dropped out of Harvard. You dropped out of Piedmont High.
I was a couple credits shy of graduating. I gotta get my GED.
I'm the principal of this school. I can do whatever I want. You're in my house.
Are you using a black voice?
No, I don't hear color.
All right, let's do some introductions. My name is Carrie. I'm here to make a little extra cash so that I can afford this warrant that I got. But that's none of y'all business. Welcome to night school.
This book is kind of thick. I thought it'd be more like a leaflet.
If you're not gonna do the work, drop the class.
Just no, I'm gonna do the work. You'll see.
We'll see.
Yes, we will.
Great.
Superb.
Excellent.
Good.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a financial analyst?
I am, and it starts immediately.
I've been waiting on the Lord to bring me a pint-sized little man who can fill this out.
Come and get your chicken from the Lord.
You take that test, or I tenderize your ass.
I rebuke you.
Take this damn suit off. Are you trying to get your GED? Are you trying to get your GED?
Yes.
You can get out my way, bitch. My suspicions were correct.
Boom.
You're clinically dumb. There is no cure for what you have.
Oh my God. I got learning herpes. I got the gift that keep on giving.
Boy. You did the black voice thing with him?
It's not a black voice, not a black voice.
You don't remember when you was in that meeting, you was like, we gonna get it lit up in here, this meeting lit.
It was very lit.
I keep it 100.
When have I ever not kept it 100?
Now, Night School was very funny. It surprised me a lot. I mean, so yeah, I'll be talking about Night School. You know, basically, a story about Night School. It's a film about Teddy. His name's Teddy Walker, and he's basically a high school dropout. He did not finish high school, and he needs to attend night school to get his GED, which is basically his diploma. And then all these bunch of other people also spend time with him in night school. And he develops, you know, friendships with characters, and he also has a girlfriend. So it's an interesting story, and certainly very underrated. You know, they've been saying it's not as good as it is, but it's a pleasant film to watch if you just want to enjoy yourself. Night School's the one for you. Like Venom, you know, is sometimes the film which can sort of like scare you, thrill you at times. But if you just want a light-hearted comedy, go to Night School because you'll just have a great time. Now, that's basically the story for Night School. That's basically his story. And then basically the actors, well, you've got Kevin Hart playing the main character of Teddy Walker, and he's actually a barbecue salesman. But what happens is he actually gets fired, which leads him to go to night school to redeem himself, basically. You know, we've seen Kevin Hart in numerous things over the years, like Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, probably one of his biggest hits. Central Intelligence and Ride Along series, to mention a few. So, you know, if you love those three films, you'll definitely love these films. This film, you'll enjoy it for sure. It really was an exciting film. I had fun with it, and I remember I saw it with many of my mates as well, and we all enjoyed it. I'm pretty sure I saw it a day after it came out. You know, this film, it's sort of basic, but it's different to what I saw. Like I watched it and I was sort of surprised to see how different it was to what I thought it was, actually. You know, it's 2018 and we haven't really seen a Kevin Hart film since last year with Jumanji, so it was good to see him again. So basically, my thoughts on Night School. It was a hilarious comedy. It's very funny, cheerful, original, and it's really entertaining. You know, Kevin Hart, he has played his character with a lot of energy and charisma. And the story, it's about Teddy Walker. Kevin Hart plays a high school dropout who has to return to his previous school which he studied in order to get his diploma so he can get a successful job to support his fiancée. So that's basically the story. Things I did appreciate in it was the story, and it was interesting to see Kevin Hart as wrote and produced this film. So basically, it's his own idea. He came up with it. And the director, Malcolm D. Lee, he's just executed it. And I've never seen anything like it. In my opinion, it's an original concept. It's also the first time that Kevin Hart has wrote a commercial film in the past. He has worked on his own comedy specials and some television movies. And I gotta say, he's done a good job in this film. It worked. And I hope he continues to write his own original stories in the future. And we'll continue to see, his own ideas on the screen and so on. And, a bit of a fun fact here. This film had a total of 6 writers on board, including Kevin Hart as the main story writer, as he wrote the story. So you can see why they are really well done jokes, and the plot is pretty simple, but it actually works. I also really like the idea that they added in some memorable, some unmemorable, and there were hilarious characters like Jalen, played by Romani Malco. He was probably the funniest one out of all of them, including Kevin Hart himself. My whole theatre was entertained by him. Like, every line he was saying was just so hilarious. Or the interesting prison character who basically spends all his time on Skype throughout. And also the friendship between the two main characters were developed well, with Kevin Hart and Tiffany Haddish. The positive message from this film, you could say it shows an important message of if you don't succeed the first time, just keep trying. So here's my final thought on Night School. Now I've talked about it quite a bit, but I've got to admit, I like this film better than Venom. The problem with Venom, it took a while to get to Venom, and it was just, it was slow. But Night School was just pretty fast-paced. So basically, Night School was an original and totally entertaining film. It made me laugh a lot. It's funny from start to finish, and you walk out of it happily and with a smile on your face. It's just a great movie to see with your mates, close friends or school friends. It has plenty of heart in it. I saw it at Village Cinemas V Premium, and it was pretty comfortable with the leather seats. I would recommend people to check it out if they're fans of comedy films in general, or for example Central Intelligence, Meet the Parents, or the Ride Along series. I really recommend people to check this out. And sadly, I don't think it's been doing too well in the box office in Australia because it's starting to go, which is disappointing because it was very interesting. So, the next movie I want to talk about is The Bad Times at the El Royale. Now, this film I haven't actually seen, so I can't provide a review for you because it actually came out today. And yeah, I've seen the trailers numerous times when I've gone to the movies, and I'm excited for this one.
First time at the El Royale?
You have the option to stay in either California or Nevada.
I always wanted to stay in the honeymoon suite, even though I'm not currently on my honeymoon.
What are you doing out here?
I got a job singing in Reno tomorrow. Don't pay nothing, but singing.
This is not a place for a priest, Father. You shouldn't be here.
It's a little too quiet in here. It gives me the willies.
just too good to be true.
Sir,
Can't take my eyes off of you.
we have a problem.
You'd be like heaven to
You watched me?
I only watch who they tell me to watch.
Who's they?
Management.
You think you could just take what's mine? I wouldn't come a hunting.
No, I figured you would. But I'd be ready when you did. Are you lost, Father?
Can I confess something to you? I'm not really a priest.
It's a game. It all starts with a simple choice. Would you mind opening the door?
No, I ain't gonna do that.
Which side are you on? Right, wrong, God or no God? Red or black?
I've done horrible things.
So's everybody. Shit happens. Get the whiskey.
just too good to be true. Can't take my eyes off of you.
Apparently the reviews have been coming in, and it's the first reviews have come in, and it's actually been given some good response. So I'm excited to check this out. I'm not sure when I'll check it out, but it will be soon. So this movie. So let's talk about Bad Times at the El Royale. So this film's about 7 strangers, and they each have a secret in them. They meet at the Lake Tahoe's El Royale. It is a rundown hotel with a very dark past. Sounds like Venom. Well, in the dark style. I mean, I wonder how many darker films we're going to see soon. So it's over, this film, I think it's shot in over the course of one fateful night. Everyone will have a last shot at redemption before everything goes to hell. So this film is 2 hours and 21 minutes. I had no idea, to be honest. I did not know it was that long. I just found out then. I mean, I've just seen the trailers numerous times, and you know, I gotta admit, it looks pretty interesting. Now let's talk about the actors. Now the actors are big in this one, and I've got to admit that this could be one of the star-studded cast of the year. Now first off, we've got Dakota Johnson playing Emily Summer Spring. Now we most known her for the 50 Shades of Grey series. Now I know many people just, you know, they just can't deal with it, but these films actually do have an audience, and some people do enjoy them. And she's also been in The Social Network and 21 Jump Street. Next off, we have Billy Lee, and yeah, so that's played by Chris Hemsworth. So Chris Hemsworth's playing Billy Lee. And you know, we know him, you know, for the Avengers series or Thor Ragnarok or 12 Strong. You know, you got to expect that he will be a funny character in this one. You know, in the film, he's got his shirt off or something. He's doing something strange. And, you know, you're just interested to see, what is this character? You know, he seems like an interesting character. Well, Dakota Johnson also does. She's got secrets, apparently. And now we have John Hamm. Now, John Hamm, I saw him earlier in Beirut, and he's been in The Town and Mad Men. You know, in here he plays Laramie Seymour Sullivan. Now, he's apparently one of the characters who... He's one of those sharp-looking men, you know. He's got one of those coats on. So I'm not sure, you know. They all have secrets, so it'll be interesting to see how it plays out on screen. I'm very intrigued. Next off, we have Manny Jacinto, who is played with the character of Wade. We haven't seen him in much recently. The Good Place we saw him in, which is now streaming on Netflix with Ted Danson and the girl from Bad Mums, which is Christian Bale. And he's going to be in the Top Gun Maverick, which also stars a couple of people. So that's one to look forward to. Also, we've got here is Jeff Bridges. Now, we haven't seen him since Only the Brave. And I got to admit, that could have been one of the best roles he's ever done. I mean, he was just amazing in that film. Everybody was amazing in Only the Brave. It was just such a, because it was a true story and it was hard to believe in everything. But it was played very well. So he's playing Father Daniel Flynn here. And I suspect that Father is playing some type of priest guy. Not too sure about that, but that's what I think he would be doing. Also, you've got Nick Offerman here, but no character name listed. But apparently he's in it. We've seen him in We're the Millers. So I think that basically stopped the cast. Actually, it was Cynthia. There's another character, Cynthia Erivo. She's also in this film. She plays Darlene Sweet. And that won't be the first time we see her, because we will be seeing her again in Widows in November, which has a star-packed cast. Viola Davis, Michelle Rodriguez, Liam Neeson, John Bernthal, Robert Duvall, Colin Farrell, Daniel Kaluuya. That looks like just an amazing film. I think it's been released in the States already. But yeah, that won't be the last we see Cynthia Erivo. And Lewis Pullman is another character. Another main character, one of the sub-characters. He's also going to be in Top Gun Maverick, so there's lots of people in this film going to be in Top Gun Maverick. We haven't seen him in much, but he was in The Strangers Pray at Night, which I did not see. And the film is directed by Drew Goddard. I think he has directed... The Cabin in the Woods, that's what he directed. And I think it has a cult following, like lots of people. Some people do like it. And I have a feeling it also stars Chris Hemsworth. So yeah, that's basically the cast. Don't think, because I haven't seen it yet, I can't comment on the audience, but I presume that the audience is going to react. I'm not sure because it's released today, but in my opinion, I think that it's going to make good money at the box office. It's going to be maybe not a blockbuster, but a hit. Or considering the star cast, and if you're a fan of mysteries and thrillers, you should enjoy it. I think so far, the reviews, I haven't seen many reviews on this one. But many people online, they write audience reviews, so I guess we can have a look at those. So somebody said, Anusha, if you like Tarantino movies, this is for you. Mind-blowing screenplay, ensemble cast, cinematography, music. I'll not be surprised if it bags few Academy nominations. Keeps the edge of all the time. I didn't for one bit felt the movie was lengthy, it was needed and well paced. Seems good. Another person has said, I go into this film knowing nothing. Part of me wished I hadn't seen both trailers because even though they didn't reveal much of the film's plot, I would have loved to have been surprised. This gives Chris Hemsworth gives his best performance yet. He's truly menacing. He's what a Negan should have been on the past couple of Walking Dead seasons. The music is great, cinematography is great, the hotel set is great. The one downside is that the build-up is a wee bit slow, but it definitely pays off when the action and mystery begins. So I think, in my opinion, this could be something like Murder on the Orient Express, but better. Now that's what I want to see. Okay, so Zachary Goodwin has gave us a bigger review, and he has said that it's incredibly captivating mystery thriller and completely subverts expectations within the first 10 minutes with an all-star cast, and the acting is solid from start to finish. You know, Chris Hemsworth in the mix, it works. The structure of the film feels fresh and stimulating with non-linear storytelling and scenes from multiple perspectives throughout times, and the pacing does tend to drag at certain parts, but the more energetic scenes are accompanied by an incredible soundtrack with classics from the 60s that create a warm and verse vibe. Now just there, having a snippet at that review, you know, I did not write it because I haven't seen it, but considering what he's written about it, what he's written about it, I'm excited to see it now. And now onto the critic reviews. I think some have been out. IndieWire gave it an 83. He said that the more that Goddard upends our assumptions about who's good, who's bad, and who's going to live through the night, the more we realise that we're rooted for all of these people to get right with the world. It's massively didactic, but in a way that encourages us to dwell on how we feel about these characters and how malleable these feelings are. Now on to IGN. They gave it an 83, and they said that Bad Times at the El Royale may overstay its welcome a bit, and it never realises the potential of its villain, but it's still an engrossing, well-made crime flick bolstered by several fine performances from its ensemble cast. And the consensus of sound, which I've never heard of before, they gave it an 83 as well. And they said that though not as unpredictable as the preceding 2 hours and nowhere close to the dizzying final act of Cabin in the Woods, the resolution is still a lot of fun, straight out of a thrilling dime store novel you'd keep by your bedside table. Now, I'm just excited to see this one. Can I see it tonight? Because I'm very excited. I might actually, but I might not as well. My thoughts on it, I really think it looks like the costumes in this film are done well. It looks like the acting's just stellar, superb. You know, this film apparently has lots of comedic moments, but that's how the trailer presented it. It could actually be more darker on screen, as I'm thinking. And, you know, it seems like a sexy thriller because you've got Dakota Johnson and you've got some action scenes, intense moments and jump scares. You know, they may grab you at times, but in the end, I think it's going to be an entertaining film to watch. It really will be great. So there's my thoughts on Bad Times at the El Royale. Now I wanted to go into some Indian cinema. And now we're talking about Love Yatri.
लव रात्रि ये कहानी है प्यार और मोहब्बत की। प्यार किया नहीं जाता, बस हो जाता है।
सोगाड़ा तारा
छबीला तारा रंगीला तारा रंग बेर जुए तारी बात तो काला तारा ओरे छबीला तारा ओरे रंगीला तारा रंग बेर जुए तारी बात रे अब आओ मेरे पास रह जाओ मेरे साथ प्रेमनिया मौसम छे प्रेमनिया मौसम छे
Now this film, it's good that they've released it at this time because it actually is Navratri at the moment in India. So they have called it Navratri, this film. Now the film is basically about Susrut. Now he is a Goba teacher and he falls in love with a girl who really likes her studies, and her name is Michelle. But when she visits the town during the festival, well, you know, sort of things sort of don't go out to plan, and Susrut has to go to the UK to actually get back Michelle, which is his girlfriend. So a bit of a family drama there. And this film I've heard some things about it actually. And that's basically the story of Navratri. I think there's also more to it. You know, Michelle's a good dancer. No, even Susrut, they're both good dancers. They both love each other. They both fall in love with each other at a festival. And basically, you know, romance, it blossoms with them because they meet at a certain time, a certain sacred time in India. And then, you know, Susrut, he's never left India before, but he has to, go on an adventurous journey to win back the woman he loves. So this film does look interesting. That's basically the story, I'm pretty sure. Now on to the actors. Now, we have Ayush Sharma. He's the main lead. Now this was his first film. So it'll be interesting to see how he pulls off his performance because he's never acted before. They're both newcomers, the first two leads. And in the trailer, you know, they seem to have good chemistry with each other, and they seem to work on screen. But when I see the film, I'll decide for myself. And then you've got Warina Hussain. She's also never acted before, newcomer. I think she's a Muslim actress. She's born in Pakistan, I'm pretty sure. And then you've got Caroline Wild. She's the third actress. No, I actually have not. I never even heard of her, but apparently she was in Sajan Singh Rangrut this year with Diljit Dosanjh. So I may have actually seen her. I think she may have played someone who was over there when they went to Britain or Germany or something. They saw the woman. And that's her second film, Navratri, so it'll be good to see her again. And we've also got Danny Mahoney, who's playing the character of Chris. And he has actually been in the second best Exotic Marigold Hotel and Florence Foster Jenkins, but No, he's not in it for long. He's a cameo appearance. So I wonder. I think he's playing a more main actor in here. And you've also got Salman Khan's brother Sohail Khan in a cameo appearance in Lavyatri. And this film is actually produced by Salma Khan, who is Salman Khan's mother. So this is his project. It's presented by Salman Khan Films. And you know, he's basically made this. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. The audience, I've heard that some of the audience have really liked it, some of the audience haven't enjoyed it that much. It's sort of mixed. You know, Adish said, incredible movie, a movie for all ages, brilliant movie. The actor, even though it is his first film, he does not make it that, it doesn't make it look like that it was his first film at all. The ease with he fits this role is commendable. It is a love story, but you can see throughout the movie that you feel his emotions that are being portrayed on screen. For not even a moment did the movie not entertain me. Incredible movie, must watch. Good experience. And Gratha Murasan has said, excellent, simple yet wonderfully beautiful. This is the second movie after Half Girlfriend which has proved all critics wrong. I wanted to see this movie right after watching its trailer, but however, after seeing all the negative reviews, I was a bit confused. Despite all odds, I followed my heart and I am proud to experience this movie. Cheers to the Dubance team. And he gave it an 8 out of 10, and I forgot to say that Adish gave it a 10 out of 10. And let's finish off our last review for Lavyatri, and hashtag love takes over. Hashtag Lavyatri is a decent, watchable and average romantic comedy movie. Audience doesn't have to depend upon the critics' judgment. Ayusha's performance as a debutante was good and pleasing, while Varina was okay but not the best. Also in Bollywood, usually there are 1 to 2 things slightly uncommon, which is okay. Everything can't be perfect. The soundtracks are great. Elements like clarity in the content lacked at some point in the film. What matters in the end is audience should enjoy and laugh their heart out. I'm going for a 6 out of 10. Now, yeah, so someone thought they really liked it. One of them thought, you know, there could be some issues. And one of them said 6 out of 10. So that's sort of, you know, it was good, but I probably wouldn't see it again. That's what they're sort of saying. But to be honest, the Lavyatri reviews, I've seen some good ones by Indian actors themselves. They have gave great reviews, online reviews, and I think online review I saw some. It was like Daisy Shah gave a review of Lavyatri, and she said, I think beautiful dancing, good newcomers. So lots of people have been giving some good, because I know that many actors went to watch it at screening, like Soniksha Sinha, Ulia Vantur, Daisy Shah, Abaz Khan, Apita Khan, Kira Advani, all these Indian actresses and actors. And I know our actor Karan Johar said something about Lavyatri. There were many Twitter reviews from audiences and they actually really liked it. They said that he said Pyar Wala Love Story because I think he saw it after. Well, what he said here, a breezy, delightful, and full of pyar wala love story. Love means love, and that makes you want to dance Garba style in abandon. Love Yatri introduces two wonderful debuts, Ayush Sharma and Warina, both confident and so assured. Ayush is such a bundle of energy, and what a dancer. Just watch it. So no, it's a good review he's put there actually. A fantastic review. Salman Khan, he should be happy with all the good reviews he's been getting. Now on to my thoughts. I mean, this film, to the music which you see in the trailer, you know, Akala de Jave, it's very nice song, and even Tere Hua, Rangatari, Chogara Tara, or lots of very nice, you know, dancing songs and everything. There's some great music in this film, I could imagine. The story looks interesting, you know, it's set in Gujarat. And the film's title was actually changed from Lavratri to Love Yatri. So that's also an interesting thing. You know, so it seems interesting. I will be seeing it for sure. I think I'm seeing it sometime next week. And you know, I'm really interested in this one. So I think that sums up 2Sweet movie reviews for the week. Did a full show today, and next week I think A Star Is Born is releasing with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. And on the 25th of October, which is a little while away, we have Gerard Butler in the action blockbuster Hunter Killer, which is distributed by Roadshow Entertainment. It's directed by Donovan Marsh. I'm not sure if he's worked on anything. He has worked on some He worked on some low budget films. I think he has. But the screenplay is from the writer who did Arne Schmidt. He wrote the film Chain Reaction, which he also produced. So he wrote the story. He's writing the story for Hunter Killer. And the writer Jamie Moss is on board. He's written Ghost in the Shell and Street Kings. It's based on the novel Firing Point by George Wallace. And the star cast, well, you've got Gerard Butler, who's in here, and let's see if he makes. Let's see if the critics, you know, they won't rubbish this film, because his last film, Geostorm, lots of people didn't enjoy. I mean, you know, it had its moments where it could have been better, for example, but it was still an interesting film. It wasn't that bad. So yeah, you got Gerard Butler here, you know. He's done many things. And Linda Cardellini's doing the female actress in this film. We saw her in A Simple Favor, apparently, playing Diana Hyland. I saw that too, but don't remember she was in it. She was in Daddy's Home too, playing Sarah, and I think I remember her role there. Gary Oldman's also in this film. You know, he's done so many films under his career. You know, like Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, Darkest Hour, The Dark Knight, Dracula. And Common is in here. Common, you know, we've seen him in John Wick. We've seen him in Girls Trip. We've seen him in Entourage. Suicide Squad, to name a few. And this film, let's see. So, Gerard Butler's actually producing it, this film. So it's his project. Basically, he's a part of it. So it's from the producers who gave you Law-Abiding Citizen with Jamie Foxx, from the executive producer of Machine Gun Preacher, the producer of Playing for Keeps, which actually stars Gerard Butler and Catherine Zeta-Jones and a few number of names, and from the producers of Olympus Has Fallen and Den of Thieves. And Den of Thieves, I really liked that last year, so I'm excited to see Hunter Killer. And the story, it's basically about a untested American submarine captain who basically teams up with US Navy SEALs to rescue the Russian president who has been kidnapped by a rogue general. So this is giving me vibes of Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen, Angel Has Fallen, which they'll eventually make. And they all star Gerard Butler. But what I mean is, the only difference is that it's something underwater. It's a submarine captain who's rescuing a Russian president. But so just the only difference is this one's not in the White House, you know. But otherwise, it's the same old thing. It's the same old stuff. No, not a bad thing. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. It could be executed well. It could be a success, or it might not be. Really depends. Anyway, I think I'm off for today, and we will see you next week for 2Sweet movie reviews. Keep going to the movies, keep supporting companies, keep supporting the distributors, the producers. You know, maybe I should talk about the companies which I mentioned today. I mentioned Sony Pictures, Universal Pictures, 20th Century Fox, Australia, Mind Blowing Films, Salman Khan Films, and Roadshow. That's basically it. So just keep going to the movies, keep supporting local cinemas, big cinemas, you know, because really want people to keep going to the movies. We'll see you next week.